And now, our first guest, let me welcome Laurie Pressman, Pantone Color Institute. Hello, Laurie. Welcome.
Hi, nice to be with you.
Yes, it's lovely to meet somehow, anyway. It's the way we meet
Yeah,
nowadays, isn't it? You and
yes,
I have been working together quite a long time. You've been with Pantone for a long time now.
yes, I
Yeah,
have over 20 years.
it's
Can't believe
amazing.
it.
And all these first couple of years, we met often and discussed the products, the ranges, especially on the fashion home interior side, and what people want and so on. But nowadays, since when are you on the Pantone Color Institute?
Well, I've been heading up the Pantone Color Institute since 2014. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
So having the opportunity not just to focus on the fashion home and interiors market, but color across graphic design, multimedia design, and it's been so great because when you think about it, color is a language.
yeah.
So it is holistic. It's not just for one area, it's for all of the different areas where color can be used to express. So it's
Yes.
been great.
That is fantastic. And I think we could chit chat a long time about the color of the year and how you do special colors sometimes for, for special reasons. You post colors, but you also do a lot of brand colors, both
Yes.
privately, but also when you want to launch a special occasion color. I was looking at those the other day, colors of the sky or purple for obviously a music color and so on. So very hopeful to work with color, I must say. I think also areas which you probably will be talking about in your presentation, but also that you can actually have your own colors and you can even control your colors. I was pulling out one of these I received from you when we visited. This is a way to set your own sample color if you have an orange, and
Yes.
actually to master this color in production so that
Yes.
you make sure that the color don't go too bright, too light, or, well, it must stay in this, in between these three different shades.
Yes.
So color control in a world where we've been spoiled, my thinking, because Instagram and all the social medias have made us very, let's say, specific, and expectations are sky high on everything matching.
Yes.
And well, those of our audience, most of them, knows the hard work behind the scene to make this look pretty and matching and perfect. And how to reach there is, the more I learn anyway, the less I understand. Well, that's not true, but it's really a complex way how color becomes a part of something we understand in our heads or in the sight center through our
Yeah, the
eyes.
consistency of color and achieving that consistency
Yeah.
is quite complex and quite difficult. And I don't think until you really dig into it that you start to really begin to understand why that is. I mean, at a very base level, color is going to appear differently no matter what, depending upon the material in which it appears. Now, that could be for fashion and home furnishings, but it's the same for packaging. What
Yeah.
is the material that the color is going to appear on? That's at a very base level. And is it a matte? Is it a shiny? And where is that material coming from? Then
Mm.
you get into what are the ingredients being used to create that color. So if you think about it that way, you may think you have a formulation, but how is that factory in Asia versus that factory in Europe, let's say, going
Mm.
to repeat that same formulations? Are they using the same exact inks? Are they
Yeah.
getting the same exact quality of paper or whatever the material is? And what people, consumers, all of us look at is if we don't see that consistent color, we may automatically assume, well, this is spoiled. This is not good anymore. There's something wrong with it. Because as you say, especially with Instagram, where we can do so much color correcting, we do have that expectation. This is what it's going to look like.
Yeah.
So more and more, we have companies coming to us to help them achieve that kind of color consistency because they understand what that could mean. And I would say more and more, we're seeing brands. You started to see it more in the beginning, I would say, in the food and beauty side, where
Yes.
brands were being more experimental, more expressive, because social media really made everybody designers,
Yeah.
no
Yeah.
matter what area you were working in, and it became a tool for self-expression. Brands looking to capture a market who, or a demographic of consumers who thought like that,
Mm.
said, wow, we need to find a different way to appeal to this audience because they look to color as expression. So, how do we showcase our brand? At the same time, we saw this whole movement towards honesty and transparency and authenticity. So,
Mm.
you started to see a lot of brands showing the ingredients in the package and the reshaping of the silhouettes that they were presenting their products in. So you get that subliminal message across of you can see what's inside, so you can see the quality of it. And I think that was really fascinating to see. I think the other thing that we noticed is in the past, if you think about it, where things were in a print medium, in a physical medium, it took a long time to build up that association with brand and color,
Yeah.
right? Because it's only through the repetition that we start to recognize, oh, this color means this brand. If I see this, it means this, right?
Mm.
So, on the one hand, you saw the evolution of companies like Starbucks go from their original brown because it was coffee, shifting into green because of the environment. That was the message they wanted to portray, but eventually doing away with the Starbucks name. So it was just the color and the symbol,
Yeah.
right? And that took time because it was physical locations. Well, now think about it. We're looking at so many things on our phone, right? And an app on our phone. So we're so much more intimately involved with that phone. We're seeing it every single
Yeah.
day. So you're seeing companies in the digital area influencing the rapidity. I don't know if that's a right word, the
Yeah.
frequency
Frequency.
of
Yeah.
color, yeah, of color shifting. I think that's been really interesting to notice. You're seeing brands move from once being known for two colors, now it's one color is dominant.
Mm.
So it's trying to build up that one color association. And you're also seeing texture. And what I mean by that is not texture in the material, they want a story. Because so much of what we're doing today is through technology and it's a flat world. Let's leave the metaverse out of this for a second. I'm
Yeah.
not going there.
Thank
I'm
you.
just saying typically you're looking at a screen and it's flat. It's not three-dimensional. You're not walking into a location, right? So it becomes, well, what does that color say about me?
Yes.
What's the backstory? What's the messaging? And I think for us, that's been a huge shift to see how many brands are coming to us, not just to help them achieve consistency across different materials,
Mm.
right? Because that's really important so that the color appears the same no matter where it shows up. But it's also about what does this color say about me? How do I leverage this other area? Because color's a language and it's about self-expression. So how do I leverage this to help me tell my story so that it's more cohesive with who I am and my brand values?
That
And I
is,
just
I
want to
think it's,
say one
sorry.
last thing and then I will stop.
Yeah, you're great.
Uh, is that as more and more companies, we've gone through such a shift, especially now with COVID. The recognition of things. It's not just COVID, but all of the protests we've seen around the world with social values.
Yes.
That's also been extremely important, and brands reorienting, saying, you know what, I need to express a new ethos. That could be the font, so the typography. That could be my messaging, but how now to express myself with color, because the messaging, if that can be reflected through the colors, because again, you go back to color as a language. So how to
Yes.
leverage this piece to subliminally convey who you are.
Yes. And I think that comes also to this personal and the individual and the human and the togetherness which color express. I think everybody in the audience today are very aware of, but they also want to know how to move ahead and to learn more how to think. And your special area, as we can hear, you're talking so much about the brands and the way they express themselves and shift slowly or strongly, quicker. That is such a great part of graphic design, which is the purpose of
Mm-hmm.
this day. So what do you say? Shall we start the presentation and we chat
Great.
afterwards?
Great.
Thanks.